Well, I said I would do it, and by golly, here we are. Despicable Me 4, the global sensation that's earned like $1 bajillion so far. The continuation of the great experiment of how bad can a series of movies get and still make money. They're coming for you fast and furious, watch out! So, if you've been following my Despicable Me videos so far, you've seen how I actually really liked the first one, and the second one was pretty okay too, and then the third one is just kind of does this the whole time.
Looking for a Mr. Gru.
¡Grulen, cretino, tumpas!
Just me, regretting all my life choices.
But Despicable Me 4 is out now, and finally I can make a video about it. So come along, kids, let's see what kind of wackadoo shenanigans Gru and friends are getting into this time. So the movie starts out with Gru and his main minion trio, or whatever, showing up at Gru's high school reunion. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Skillshare. Well, August is about halfway over, which means summer's almost done, which means in just a few months, 2015 will be 10 years ago, so. What better time to get started finally learning that thing you always wanted to learn than right now? Golly gee, I sure wish I could learn how to draw and animate. Well, Skillshare has a whole learning path just for people like you. But Alex, how do I know where to start and where to go from there? I'm so glad you asked that question, conveniently. Well, Skillshare has the answer to all of this with what they call learning paths. Learning paths are where they've bundled several classes together all on the same topic to cover first starting out as a novice and then going all the way to professional skill level and everything in between. Let's say you're thinking about opening an Etsy store. On the learning path, they teach you how to even start thinking about your shop, then how to build it, how to take photos for whatever you're selling, and now suddenly you've got an Etsy store that's better than like 90% of all the other ones. And when I say Skillshare has almost any topic, I'm not kidding, okay? Here's just a few of the categories they have. Photography, graphic design, music, cooking, business, marketing, YouTubing. Like literally almost anything you could want to learn, it's here. So if this sounds interesting to you, guess what? The first 500 people who become Skillshare members using my link will get their first membership month completely free. You can do both of these learning paths I just mentioned completely free. You literally have nothing to lose. So click my link down below and get creative today. Okay, back to the show. Exercise? I thought you said extra fries. Also, apparently Gru graduated in 1985, which means he's almost like 60. Honestly, I had no concept of how old he was, because like this kid's been 7 going on 45 his entire life, you know what I mean? Anyway, so at this reunion party, Gru runs into one of his old classmates named Maxine.
If it isn't Gruser the loser! Well, if it isn't Maxime Lamal, you look magnificent! Yes, I know. What did you think, huh? I was going to look like a bold loser with a dad bod? Oops! Looks like you beat me to it, no?
Hey, wow, it's not my fault I've been locked in like a Dragon Ball Z fight my whole life between me and Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, you know what I'm saying? So as you can see, Maxine here is kind of a jerk. And like, this is precisely one of the main reasons why I've never gone back to a high school reunion ever. I mean, like, my 20-year reunion is coming up in a couple years, which like, I mean... But like, you better believe that I hope to never see any of those people ever again, okay? The last thing I need in my life is going back to Sioux City, Iowa and having everyone be like, oh, hey, wait a minute, aren't you that dude who had his picture up in the girls' bathroom that said, do not give this guy hugs no matter how many times he asks where they are? But anyway, after this, their old principal gets up on stage and it's time to announce some kind of something.
Now we're going to kick off the festivities by announcing the winner of our most coveted award. The Golden Alumni! The winner of this year's Golden Alumni is... my favorite student, Maxime Lamal!
Wow. You know, I don't know why it's always like this, but like teachers and parents, they'll be like, oh, that Connor, Chase, Parker, Tanner, he's such a nice young man, my favorite student. And like, are we thinking of the same guy? This dude? The guy who looked at me and said, your face looks like if SpongeBob had a butt. He wasn't very smart, but he could throw a football real good. But turns out Maxine has actually been planning some kind of supervillain something or other this whole time.
Behold, the power of the cockroach!
Well, You kind of seem like a lot right now. And like, maybe this is just me, okay? But like the whole Maxine cockroach thing it's just like the dumbest villain idea. I mean, it's quite literally just Roach Coach from Powerpuff Girls, you know what I'm saying? And like as cringy and dumb as Brat was in the third movie, his aesthetics were so cool. And like you could tell they had a lot of fun making this whole like 80s Brat toy thing, right? But like this? What the heck even, who is this speaking to? But now turns out Gru is actually here because he was waiting around for Maxine to do his little Sailor Moon transformation thing, so he could arrest him on behalf of the AVL.
So, my sad little friend, what do you say about that, huh? Well, I'd say you're under arrest.
But of course, in the end, Maxine gets captured and put in villain jail, and the day is saved. And so Gru goes back home, and we get to meet his cute little family, and turns out there's been a rather important development between movies 3 and 4.
1, 2, 3 girls, 1 wife. Something is missing.
No, I think that's all of us. Yeah. You know what? I keep forgetting. This guy.
Wait a second, Gru and Lucy made a baby? You mean they did the... Now the big joke of this movie, really the entire point of the whole baby character, honestly, is that he doesn't like Gru very much and makes this very obvious.
Behind that sourpuss, I know you love your dada. Go on, say it. Dada. Dada.
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face.
I mean, this movie's dumb. It's not funny at all. So while this is all going on, just like right after they arrest Maxine, the AVL boss guy comes over to Gru's house with some oh-so-surprising plot twist news.
Maxime Lamal has sent you a message from prison.
I break out of prison. I'm coming for my revenge, Gru. But this time, I won't go so easy on you. And I know where you live, so you better sleep with one eye open.
He escaped yesterday.
So what we come to find out is that this Maxim guy, he's been obsessed with hating Gru ever since high school, because Gru stole his song for the talent show and went out first, so Maxine had to quit and be all embarrassed or whatever. And now holding on to this grudge for the last, 40 years or whatever, Maxine has escaped the prison and is coming for Gru because he knows where he lives. And so Gru and his family have no choice but to go to witness protection so nobody can find them.
Oh no, you're gonna love it. It's called the Safe House, and it's fun, and it's safe, and it's fantastic.
What about all my friends?
You'll make new friends, probably better ones.
Oh.
RG freaking brag about it. Yeah, look at me, I'm in middle school, I have friends.
I'm sorry you can't go with us, Lucky. Take good care of him. Be good, Lucky. Don't forget to practice your tricks.
I would do anything for you, Agnes. But this whole thing kind of makes no sense because everyone already knows where everybody lives. Their houses look like this, right? The Vector's got this giant Adam and Eve product thing going on here, and golly gee whiz, maybe someone lives in that giant Rubik's Cube house over there. Who can say? But anyway, so Gru and everyone moved to a new town called Mayflower.
Look at these lawns, the flowers. That is cool. Are we really gonna
And here it is. Your new home.
Hey, wow, it's about the motion of the ocean, okay? Now, while Gru and his family have to move to this town, the AVL guy takes all the minions, except these 3 for some reason, and relocates them all to the AVL headquarters where he turns some of them into a superhero Avengers team called the Mega Minions. And as we'll see many more examples of in this movie, this whole thing with the Mega Minions, literally has nothing to do with anything. It just goes nowhere and fills time. I don't know why, but in the third movie and really in the fourth movie a lot, they just have to stuff as much Minions garbage in these movies as humanly possible, even if it makes no sense. And the Minions literally have their own movie franchise, so why are you shoving them into this one so much? I mean, Despicable Me 4 is basically just Minions 2.5, really. But whatever, anyway, so like I said, Gru and his family moved to a new town and have to start a brand new life.
What it lacks in comfort, it more than makes up for in functionality. There's even a fully automated lockdown mode. Isn't that fun?
Ooh, full lockdown mode. Yay!
It has a vending machine! I love this place!
Now, just like in the third movie, they go through all this setup with the main villain guy and what he's doing and why he's doing it and whatever, and then he just sits around and does literally nothing for like 2/3 of the movie. I don't know who it is at Illumination who thinks that this makes a good story, but like, why? But all the same, after Gru and his family move to this new town, the movie kind of just turns into like episodes of a TV show where everyone's doing random stuff that has nothing to do with anything. Like the mom starts a new job as a hairdresser and sets this lady's hair on fire, and so she chases her around like the Terminator. Or like Gru wants to be friends with the neighbor dad guy, so he plays tennis against him. But then, psych, turns out it's just more classic Minion slapstick. Oh boy.
What? That doesn't count. And what? You can't just jump. This is ridiculous.
Honestly, the fault is all mine here for expecting anything else. And I mean, like, it's just so weird because they set up a villain, they introduce this new baby, they move to a new town, and then like nothing happens for the next 45 minutes of the movie. I mean, like a lot of stuff happens, but also nothing happens. You get what I'm saying? There is one of these little vignette episode things that I actually thought was pretty good. So when they move to this new town, we see that the daughter of the family next door is being kind of sus, you know what I'm saying? And we come to find out that she actually knows who Gru really is. And then she kind of like blackmails him into teaching her how to be a villain.
It is I, Happy Prescott, villainess.
Have a seat, Gru.
Okay, why am I here?
Because, like you, I was born to be bad.
So she really wants to be a bad girl, TM, and wants to steal something from Gru's old high school so that they'll have to let her enroll next year as a new supervillain.
And it's where we are going to steal the school mascot.
You want to steal Lenny? Have you ever even seen a honey badger? They literally eat bees. Honey badger don't care.
Wow, what a timely reference. But like I said, they break into the high school and do a bunch of cool villain stuff and steal the honey badger dude guy with the help of Gru's new baby, of course.
Wait up! No! What?
And like, as I was watching this movie, I kept thinking about how like this whole part here really should have been like the main A-plot of the movie. Because like you could have extended this premise into something pretty interesting about how Gru and Lucy have this new baby now, right? And that means that Gru really has to give up his old villain ways and he has to be a dad, but he still kind of misses it, okay? But then the neighbor girl's like, you're so cool. And then Gru's like, you know what? I am cool. Just look at how many Polly Pockets I have. And he secretly like teaches her all his villain techniques or whatever.
All right, let's see what I got in here. Come on. Aha! And then while this is going on, the new baby plot thread could have been something about how, like, the girls start feeling inadequate because now Gru has a biological child. And, you know, this could have come, like, full circle as a callback to the first movie about how they're, like, foster kids or whatever. And so the B plot could have been about them dealing with their feelings about, like, do you still love us the same? Are you still our dad? Is this baby more important to you now? And, like, you know, I'm not saying it should have been, like, super, super deep, but it could have been the sort of, like, family emotional bonding story that we got in the first movie. But they don't do any of this, okay? But instead, we just get this dumb little side story about how they're in witness protection, but Agnes doesn't want to lie about her name because lying is bad.
Now, we have 2 new students today ready to begin their journey to awesomeness. You, tiny girl, step forward and tell us your name.
My name? I can't.
Like, somehow they just could not figure out what to do with literally anyone except Gru in this movie. But all the same, with Gru and Penny stealing the honey badger, now the high school principal knows where Gru and his family are, which means Maxine knows, because, like, remember back at the beginning of the movie when they were, like, best friends, you know? And so the principal goes to Gru's house to get the honey badger back, a la Dr. Octopus, and then right when this is happening, Maxine shows up at Gru's super secret safe house thing.
Say au revoir, Gru! Oh, and don't worry, he will be very happy with his new daddy, right? Look at him! Oh, he loves his new daddy! Junior! No!
And the movie ends with Maxine kidnapping Le Bébé and turning him into a cockroach, but then the power of family snaps him out of it, and Gru and him work together to beat up Maxine.
Bad baby. Ow, 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 ow. You are going to feel that rat up.
And then he like falls off the scaffolding, even though we've seen him flying around several times in this movie, but like, just kidding, he falls all the way down. Whatever, who cares? And so the day is saved, and Gru decides to do one more karaoke talent show thing with Maxine in the prison because, you know, they're like friends now, I guess. And so then obviously we have to get Vector from the first movie doing some flossing stuff because that's the kind of movie this is. So if I have to see it, so do you. But like, having watched all 4 of these movies now, it really is kind of amazing how much better Despicable Me 1 is than literally anything else Illumination has ever done. Like, all their movies make a ton of money, right? So like, I guess at the end of the day, who cares? But like, Despicable Me 1 is genuinely a good, heartfelt movie. And then they were just like, you know what? We should definitely never do this again. But hey, guess what? The next Minions movie comes out in a couple years, so guess I gotta start watching those now. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please watch another one, because that's how the algorithm works. So click on this one that's being recommended to you right now, right here on the screen. It actually helps a lot if you do that, because like that's how YouTube knows that my videos are worth caring about. Also, if you have any movies or TV shows you'd like to recommend, send me an email at alexmeyerscontact@gmail.com, and I'll put them on my absurdly long list of movies that I need to get to at some point. Anyway, hope I made your day a little bit better, and I'll see you all next time.